Welcome back, everyone, to episode 2 of the Russia vs. Ukraine series. So, it's been a while, and what I've been doing in the process is just trying different strategies to see what direction I really want to go in, or see if my original strategy actually was going to work. And it did somewhat. And my strategy, like I said in the last episode, was to take over the pretty much the coastal region here to link up with Crimea. But the mistake that I made was, although I basically took out all of these army bases, I didn't pay much attention to the other side. So what that did was that caused my casualty rate to go up a lot higher than what it should have been. So the end result was I lost 14,000 troops, but Ukraine lost 21,000. But Russia shouldn't have lost that amount. I mean, given that other countries were giving them weapons and putting sanctions on us and so forth, that really shouldn't have affected my casualty rate the way that it was. So in this episode, you're going to see me setting up things a lot differently. And it's kind of similar to what I did with the China versus Taiwan series, or just the China series, and in the end I decided to invade Taiwan. And similar scenario. So the first thing we're going to have to concentrate on is all the land bases. So what that means is I'm going to have to pull fighter jets from all over Russia and bring them a lot closer. And the other thing too is, and I might as well do this now, is to improve the cyber security network. So that's going to take 3 months, so by June that should be done. So that's going to cost us about $5.6 billion. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Now, the other thing that I probably could do, and it's going to drop my approval rating for a while. One of the things that I did was I sold the conventional oil sector, privatized it. It gave me $425 billion. And what I did was it took me roughly about 1 quarter or 2 quarters. And what I did was I basically paid off all of our debt. But in the long run, I had a hard time getting my approval rating over 60-70%. but I completely paid off everything. So everything that you see here was completely paid off, and I had public debt down to 0. I really don't want to go that route, so I'll see what I can do. And for right now, I'm just going to start moving some military equipment around Ukraine. So one of the first things I'm going to do is we're going to dispatch our naval cruisers, and I'm going to just place them there. Just as you can see, we have the entire country of Ukraine that's in our striking range. And we're gonna put the other cruisers there. I'm gonna put cruisers here because there's also some nuclear subs that's from the US that's going to be within this region here, so we can detect them. And we're going to put some submarines over here too. I'll put our nuclear sub right there.
Our best coders are working around the clock.
Alright, let's see. Alright, so we can move this nuclear sub. We're just gonna put them right there. I'm gonna move this closer over. And we're gonna dispatch our subs over. So move some commandos over. Move them right there. So what I learned is I need to really enforce Crimea, and I'm gonna have to put some missile launchers and anti-missile batteries there. Even more than this, because I believe at least this camp right here got destroyed. So you guys just have to be patient. I know you want to see the fighting begin, but I really have to set up everything the way I need it to be, because I'm trying to have the least amount of casualties overall. Alright, so let's move up here some. are they going back? Alright, so let's just make them... We're gonna place them in the city then. Alright, so the other thing I need to do is build up a satellite network here. Alright, so the larger this gets, the more of an area I can cover. So... I think I have some satellites in Africa, so... I'm gonna increase our range. Alright. Not really worried about Iran, so could take the 2 satellites from over there, bring them up. Bring our satellite from over here. And we could bring the 2 satellites from the Arctic over. So the whole point of me doing this is instead of having to fly a drone over to see how much or how many soldiers are in each base and how much equipment they have in each base or the city, that'll help me with my initial attack. Yes, alright, so they have 100 tanks, 6,000 troops, 19 missile launchers. So in a previous game I played where I actually attacked, a lot of equipment was being sent here, and Ukraine actually tried a counter offensive, and they did like a sudden military splurge or a surge. And what I had to do was I had to fly my fighter jets over and do a bombardment campaign, because it was multiple units. Like this entire area right in here was filled with military equipment. So I lucked out with taking care of all of them, but it's because I had to keep my eye on this area. So, alright, so I have 9. I think you could get up to about 15, so let's get some more satellites. So I definitely don't need that there. I don't even know why they have this, because should be able to try to colonize this area. Just to make it more relevant, but maybe in the 2023 edition. let's bring this up.
The preparations are complete. The whole country.
Okay, CIA and drug trafficking. Alright, let's address that real quick. So let's start a campaign to refute that. Not negotiating.
Here is our growth forecast for the end of the year based on calculations that we made last month. This is a very good figure. Our economy is dynamic.
I wanted to inform you.
Okay. Alright, so we have a $120 billion surplus. So, alright, our public debt is at 25. Alright, so let's go ahead and pay off our debt. So that dropped it down to about 20. And let's pay off the World Bank, get that out the way. So that's taken care of. Let's see, how many more? Alright, so that should be 10, 11, 12. 13. Alright, so I need 2 more. And I'll bring this one over.
This person is at risk of a scandal.
Alright, so next thing I need to do is bring some fighter jets to the area. Alright, do I want to bring that right there? Because we can fly over Belarus. Alright, so we'll do that. Bring the other jets right there. So when this starts, I need to remember to zoom in because there's a few air bases that normally you can't see. So I'm gonna have to put a lot of fighters here. Yeah, I'm gonna put those there. 'Cause I still have a couple air bases around Moscow. And that's 67 fighters. Alright, so I have one there. So we'll bring... Where was that? Bring some fighters there. Alright, let's see what's going on
The
here.
team encountered a factor 10 disturbance hazard, which led to a mission abort. Nevertheless, we couldn't possibly qualify this setback as
Okay.
1 week before the beginning of the fest.
Alright, so since I'm thinking about it, before I forget, let's hire some more cyber analysts. That's going to cost us about 8 million. We're going to need some more agents. We're going to raise that up to about 25. Let's go to terrorists. So we need to put all of these guys under surveillance. And the same for the Jihadist Caliphate.
Our team is in place. The information gathered on this suspect terrorist will be archived directly into his dossier, which you can...
Alright, so let's look at this side now. 62, 41, 55. Alright, 72, so 61. So all of these air bases are gonna have to take everything out in this region. Let's move this here. But if I'm moving that there, then that means I'm gonna have to really reinforce missile launchers and everything in this area. Alright, do we want to take out the Ukrainian chief of staff? Nah. Gonna hold out for a while before we start really attacking. Let's move that there. And we'll put them there. Alright, so that's 39. And really, let's see, how many soldiers are there? 288, 6,000, 230, 315. So I'll round that off so close to 10,000. So the very beginning of our assault is going to be extremely important because we're gonna have to take out so much at once.
Sharing this moment of intense spirituality with the faithful gives me great joy. On this holy day, I thank all of our communities across the country, both those in cities as well as those in small, remote villages, who are all coming together in prayer.
We have obtained some information on this terror suspect. I urge you to examine his file.
Alright, real quick, let's take a look at these. Alright, so that's not what he's talking about. So, this is the guy. See, now, I hope Eversim improves this, because there's no reason for me to look at this all of a sudden because the guy ate sushi. Alright, let's check our inflation real quick. Is that really... Okay, that's still going down, so I'm not going to touch the interest rate. Now, in the current war right now, I believe Russia had bought some drones from Iran. So we're going to... Let's see if we can see who are the top drone manufacturers. Okay, yeah, Iran is up there. So the US, Israel, and China are the top three. You could purchase some from India also. Alright, so new contract. Alright, so let's see what base we want that to go. Oh, list, okay, so let's go back to that. And Iran. Drones. And the only thing is it doesn't show you what type of drones it is, like what level. So this is probably something else that Eversim can work on for the next edition. So we're just gonna see if we could purchase 5. And hopefully it's actual attack drones, not the surveillance drones. And let's set up a meeting with India, because we're going to sell oil. Kazakhstan is self-sufficient with oil already. Let's go to our energy contracts. Alright, so we sold China oil, selling fuel to Japan. So that means we can try to meet up with China. And we could try to sell them natural gas, and that should bring in some more money for us. Alright, so we have 80 there, 104 there, 120 there. Let's bring that. Alright, so we have 41, we have another 43 going there. 39. Let's relocate that there. Alright, so we have 37. Alright, so we already have 85 there. So, I'm just going to move some more aircraft around, and I think that's going to be it for what I move for this episode. Because I still have to move around some missile launchers and anti-aircraft missile batteries or anti-missile batteries. Alright, so we have 81 fighters there. 101. 67, so we're gonna have to send some more. Let's see. Alright, so yeah, that's... Okay, so we have 45 there. Actually, let's send some helicopters over too. Let's just send 9 over to this one right there. And send more fighters there also. So what this means is, alright, we're gonna have to this up to 35. It's going to be 2.6 billion that we wind up spending. Favorable change in Venezuela. So, do some. Alright, so let's do this. Alright, so the quality is just their surveillance drones, so we're going to go ahead and cancel that.
These important troops are positioned near our borders and represent a potential threat to our territorial integrity.
Alright, so that quick we improve relations with Venezuela. That's going to be pretty important because even though I don't think the US is actually going to declare war on us or anything, we can probably make a military alliance with them.
I really think we should send a message of disapproval to the government of this country.
Alright. And let's see if we could better relations with Saudi Arabia. Alright, so we'll just do 17. Industry, do about 15. And service, do about 17. And we'll see how that works out.
Our sportsmen are ready. But if I may, a few words of encouragement before the national teams depart.
Alright, so let's check inflation. Alright, so we're gonna have to raise the interest rate. Alright. Let's see if we can bump that up to 3. And we can. Finances, can we bump that up to... I don't think they're gonna go for this one though. Yep, just like I thought.
Huh. That's not to be turned.
Alright, so let's do a sales contract. And let's try to sell them oil. Alright. That's alright, so got a little too greedy there, so let's do sales, oil. Alright,
Very kind. Sure.
alright, so let's check that. Let's do all countries.
Our governmental cell informs me that it has had the opportunity to approach this potential informer. According to my calculations, using transactional analysis, Chicago score naturally, the team has at most a 63.8% chance of making a strategic gain in its position by focusing on this target and only on this target.
Alright, we'll go ahead with that. Alright. See, we have a $4 billion surplus coming in.
The competition will begin in...
Alright, so that wasn't the greatest of deals, but it's bringing us in $18 billion. So,
Huh. Very kind.
okay. So with China, we are going to try to sell natural gas to them. Alright, so this is actually over our average sale price, but let's try for 416. Alright, so they're trying to play hardball now. Let's go with 3. It's 398. Really? Alright, let's try with 380. Oh, let's try with 362 then. Oh. Alright, so they're just determined they're not going to buy, not gonna go for any deal we're trying to offer them. So let's just go ahead and cancel this. And we're not negotiating with terrorists. Let's bring that nuclear sub there. We'll keep this one here. Alright, so we got inflation to go down again. Unemployment rate is going down. Alright. So I think I'm going to end this episode. So as you can see, moved a lot of aircraft over, preparing for our attack. So honestly, it might be another 1 or 2 episodes before the actual war begins. I just want to test out a few things to see how well prepared I am. May actually do another satellite network, put it further over, not necessarily over on the east side, but maybe the central area, to at least cover Kiev and surrounding areas. So you guys can let me know what you think, any advice. Again, I just ask that you be patient because I'm trying to set everything up beforehand to cut my losses. So thank you for the support, and I will see you soon.